cross-reference a serial killer.
Uh,
No mutual friends.
oh, what happened to silence?
That'd be funny if there's one mutual friend and it's just a picture of you smiling. No, you just jogging or something. Like do it like it's just a picture he snapped of you in secret.
Ah, that would be different.
Or it's like Spaceballs, it just shows the back of your head right now, and then when you turn around, it's like come on, you guys remember Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Were they
Right.
watching the DVD of Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Rick Moranis.
Now. Like, no, just that was then. This is now.
Rick
Great
Moranis,
conversation in time.
another Canadian comedic genius.
Oh, he was Canadian?
Yeah,
I don't know.
still is.
Well, he's not like John Candy.
Was John Candy Canadian?
Yes,
Fuck.
all those guys, because that's all from Second City. Like like Second City, like the improv troupe, right?
Yep.
I think I think it's
I remember Kids in the Hall.
yeah. Ding 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 ding
I'm
ding
shaking your head.
ding 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 ding. Okay, Kids in the Hall Canadian and Second City. The TV show SCTV, Second City Television. It was a Canadian program,
That's why I've never heard of it.
and it was like there's like Rick Moranis, Eugene Levy, John Candy, Dave Thomas, not the guy from Wendy's.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You mean the founder from Wendy's?
Okay, because like Bob and Doug McKenzie. Someone YouTube Bob and Doug McKenzie right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Bob and Doug McKenzie. Seriously. Like, because everybody talks about, well, hi, Canada, and all that, whatever, but Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Red
You know
and green.
Yeah, Red Green is a good example.
Yeah.
Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Pamela Anderson was Canadian.
Yep, Pamela Anderson, Neil
Lauren-
Young, Brian
Lauren-
Adams, Shania
Lauren-
Twain, Celine Dion.
Lauren Green.
Yeah, Lauren
Um,
Green,
Captain Kirk.
Oh,
Bill Shatner.
Shatner?
Yep.
And oh my God, he's Canadian?
Yeah.
All of Hollywood is, except for the ones that are from like Puerto Rico and whatever, like J Lo and all them.
Fucking Brooklyn, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I get it.
Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Who is the snow guy? Informer. Look at boom boom belay.
Oh, Bublé.
No, not
Oh
Bublé.
yeah, Snow. Oh, I know who. Informer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Canadian,
He's Canadian.
of course, but who cares?
He's
Michael
crazy.
Bublé. Michael Bublé is Canadian.
Okay.
Tommy Chong.
No way. Cheech and Chong
Yeah.
Chong was Canadian?
He
Wow.
fucking lived. He like Edmonton or something like that.
Okay.
Oh my God, a lot of wrestlers. Because a lot of
Andre
them
the
came
Giant?
from. No, he was actually from France.
Oh, I thought he was Quebec. My bad.
No, he's Parisian French. I always say you can tell the difference between Parisian French and Quebec French because this is the way they talk. That's Parisian, right? This is the way they talk. And Quebecers, this is the way they talk.
Hey.
How's it go? Yeah, it's true though because the differences between like Parisian make like the Z sound, and Quebecers make the D. That's a hockey guy. Eh? He says, "When I stop at the puck, right, with my face." Oh, you guys, and horrible news. On
What?
Sunday, the Rough Riders lost the Western Conference final to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well.
On Kaepernick. I mean, it can't get no worse.
Choo.
I didn't hear what you said other than can't get no worse.
Oh, we should sign Kaepernick. It can't get any worse. We're 0-10.
Oh.
Uh,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not
he
very
won
good.
games with the with the Niners. I mean, come on.
Mhm.
nobody wants him.
No.
And after the Niners, he didn't win nothing.
Well, no, because he hasn't played.
No, he played some games after the win with the winning season with the Niners, and
His final.
he was
his
benched.
final game with the Niners was 2-14. I mean, when he first came out, he was hot. He was great, and then defenses figured out how to guard against him, and he lost a step, and he was no longer good.
And he just carries too much baggage with him, I think, now for any corporation to want to deal much with him.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's like this, if Tom Brady had done it, you'd have every freaking Boston Patriot stand up and go, "Well, this is right," but because it's Tom Brady and he's good at what he does.
Well, it's you'd still have those that would say that it was wrong.
Yeah, he would have those, but most, winning is the ultimate deodorant. If you win, you do no wrong. Or,
just like Deflategate.
Yeah.
So, you got those that won't budge on. It was just a simple error that he had no control over, to others that said it was pre-programmed.
It was pre-done. Don't give me some bullshit. He was in on it, and so was the coach.
Oh, I agree. But you got the diehard fans with the Patriots and Brady that will battle you the whole way with it.
Because he wins.
It could be.
2-14, they'd be like, "Oh, fuck that guy. Get him out of here." It's just saying.
Oh, those.
What happened? Everything went blank for a bit.
Well, I don't.
Oh, the only thing that my wife came on in and I muted my mic. She was going off to work, so she was saying goodbye and giving me some loving.
Nice.
Ryan's not going to make it, is he?
Say what?
Ryan's not going to make it today, right?
But he said he couldn't.
No.
That's what he said in the message, that he wouldn't be able to.
Okay. I'm just kind of refreshing my head here, but there's too much to read.
We all have hangovers from a massive party last time.
No.
Don't we?
You guys, there it is. You guys, well, actually, yeah, you're right. You guys had the Seder party. What happens at a Seder party stays at a Seder party.
Yeah.
you guys got within to like as you're traveling, you guys in the direction of Luskin could see a thin a column of smoke, black smoke, rising
Dear.
to the sky and spreading across the stratosphere, hundreds or even thousands of feet up. As you guys approach, you're positive the smoke is rising from the city. And I don't know. It's like, I would say it's late morning. Approaching noon when you guys are approaching. Let's see what the weather is like first of all. So who wants to roll me a unmodified die 20, please, for the temperature?
Hold on. Hang on a minute.
Did you say a number, Charles?
I
Or
started
did
to.
you say,
I'll-
you say you'll do it? I didn't know. Okay, then you
I-
roll
I-
Kate or
I have.
Kath.
I was going to let Kat go ahead.
Yeah, we'll let her do it. Roll Kath.
Okay,
Roll
I
for
rolled.
the temperature.
Uh,
Unmodified die 20. Tell me what it is. Unmodified die 20. Tell me what it is, Kath. If you're trying to tell me, you're muted. I don't know. I don't hear nothing.
I think this is where we're coming in from.
The north somewhere.
Yeah,
North side.
I
Yeah.
have it coming down the road from Mirabar to Luskin, south of the spine of the
For all you
world.
know, we could be somewhere else now. We're on top of the Caesar's Palace.
Okay,
in
I'm
Vegas.
gonna see if I can.
The Hangover D&D style.
Eh,
What did we
There
do
you
last
go.
night?
And
One of those satyrs gave me some pills, man.
roofied you, roofied you. Yes. The cat, you there? Oh, maybe not. Well, I rolled an 11. We'll go with that.
Okay, I want to see. I'm gonna share a picture with you guys. Oh, hold on a sec.
Okay, let me stop sharing here. Boom. There you go. Ooh, that's a scary picture.
hello, I said I had 19 on the dice.
Oh, yay.
Okay, now
All
we
right.
hear you.
Now we got you.
Sorry, my internet died on me. I think I forgot to give sacrifices to the internet gods.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Sorry.
Okay. Today with a 19 is a rather cold day. In fact, you can roll me a D4 as well, Kath.
A D4. Hang on, where is it? Unmodified. I've got a 2.
2. So it's late fall. It's up north, and it's 20 degrees colder than normal.
Yeesh.
Oof.
So it is below 0 or below 32, which, okay, anyways, I won't go
Low
there.
freezing.
Yeah, below freezing, like a considerable amount. Like it's at the point where it's like not chilly, it's fucking cold out.
Your
Like
breath.
for those, yeah, like yeah, well, more than that. Like I'm thinking it's like Celsius minus 15. So let's say divide that by 3 is minus 3, 27, add 32 is 8 degrees.
It's fucking cold.
8 degrees Fahrenheit conversion.
Or Canadian summer.
Pardon me?
Or Canadian summer.
Yeah, as if.
You
There,
see
that
any
was a
weather.
very Canadian thing of me to say.
I don't know.
As if. As if. So that's why the smoke goes straight up, high, hits the air, and spreads out. Hits that layer of air and spreads out. Let's roll. Oh, fuck, I should have said that. What if it's windy? Cocksucker. Okay, now roll a die 20 again, please, Kath. I got to see. That was for the temperature.
Die
It's cold.
20.
This is for the
Hang on a
wind.
minute.
This is
Another
the
one.
wind.
Oh,
Oh.
I've got a 5.
There, it's calm. That's why. Now, we got to roll for precipitation, please. Roll me one more d20.
One more D20 coming up.
Yeah.
4.
Oh, there you go. As I described it.
The dice are really
Isn't that
playing
lovely?
with this,
Yeah,
aren't they?
there's no precipitation, no wind, but it's bitching cold, which makes sense because usually on a clear day, that's when the temperature drops.
It's like the dice knew.
But it's not as wintry as like it was like only a few days ago. You know what I mean? Like you guys are coming down south. You guys are like at the point now where there's practically no snow on the ground. Right? You guys are below where the snow has already hit. So oh yeah, I want to share a picture here, but I'm trying to see how I can do it.
Oh, by the way, the picture of the dwarf you showed was just like a silhouette. It didn't, like, there was no...
Oh, that's all it showed.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Well, no, I didn't know that. Okay, I'll have to.
Spooky.
Huh. Okay, let's see.
That's what I want to do here, too.
Okay, I think I'm gonna share it in the.
From me to everyone. Okay, that's from that. That's that.
Okay, now I'm gonna.
We don't have our pony and wagon, do we?
Yes, we do.
Yes, yeah,
We do?
yeah, you guys have your horse and your wagon full of gear. You got your NPC who's like sitting in the back of the wagon, and he's like even like covered up with a tarp. Just his head is sticking out with his fur hat.
Okay. Since it's so
And the dwarf. Remember, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, you guys also have your new NPC, that dwarf who is walking alongside of all y'all.
Garl would, since it's so bitter out, he'd be jumping up
Hey,
into the
what are we
back.
in? Are we in Zoom right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, I even forgot. I was just wanting to know because There.
Okay.
Huh. No, I don't want to do it that way then. Sorry. I still want to share this picture, but I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to be in charge of it.
Just
So
send,
I'm gonna. What was that?
just send it through Messenger.
I'm going to. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Well, being in charge of it doesn't have any drawbacks, I don't think.
Well, I just don't know what the fuck's going on, so why
Okay.
would I wanna?
Let's see here.
Does anyone have any loot?
The very little coin, if that's what you're talking about.
Well, I was thinking about it. I think only Ryan had that bag of stuff. That was it.
I think Garl has. I'll have to look and see, but ain't a lot. I don't believe. Let's see here. Yeah, Garl has
There it is.
about
Okay.
20 gold.
I have 47 gold written down and 8 diamonds worth 100.
You have more than I do. I've got 17 gold, 5 silver, 2 copper, and 4 diamonds.
I think I've just got money.
Jeez.
You don't even have diamonds. Oh, by the way, I added divination as a spell, and I picked up healing word too.
Oh, that's handy.
Let's see here.
Divination is it is a ritual, so I can use it without using my 4th level spell slot. However,
Ooh.
does consume 25 gold worth of hard liquor. So
Okay. You're sharing a map.
Right.
You shared a map, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's like you guys can see as you approach.
Let's see here. Alrighty.
And strangely enough, well, maybe not, but like there isn't like a whole lot of people traveling outside of the city. Like you just don't really seem to see anyone, and you kind of might think, well, is it the cold or
so we're going to Luskin
Or is that-
Fire Shear?
Yeah.
So we're pretty much going east.
Yeah, southeast.
Yeah.
yeah, southeast? It's just Luskin is a big port city, though.
Let's see here.
Hey, Blackbird Crossing. That sounds cool.
Yeah, let's see here.
Morgar's Mound. Let's go to Morgar's Mound.
Download that. And okay.
So that's what map I give you guys, the whole Savage Frontier.
I don't know if it's the whole Savage Frontier, but
Okay.
but I
Is
got
it Luskin or is it?
Yeah, it's Luskin, Mirabar, and like that. I
Northern thing.
yeah, I got a whole. Let's see here. I get out of there.
Yeah, I was trying to send you like the city map of Luskin, but I don't know if that's what it is.
No,
No.
no, it's the
Oh well.
it's the general
Oh well.
one as far as that. But,
Oh. Oh, well, that's all right. I don't care if you guys have that one as well. But
Probably Google picked up the map of Luskin.
yeah, it's and if it's tell you the truth, it's just on like the Skag Historical Adventures Guide. They have a map in there. but I'm not gonna fuck around again if I sent you the wrong one.
So, let's see here.
Oh, there's a map of Luskin.
There you go.
Let me see here. How do I share this?
Click on share.
But yeah, keep that area map, because that's almost a better way for me to know where you guys are going. Right?
There it is.
Because if you guys say like, "Oh, we're going this way" or whatever, and blah blah blah, it's like we could just agree, okay, we're going to this place.
Yeah.
All right, there's.
And then we can. That's honestly probably the easiest way, rather than me to decipher what you guys are talking about when you're referring to a map. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Or me try to make a map in my head and make a mistake. Just you guys just tell me where you're going.
Yeah. Right
Because it's not
now-
like I don't think there is any like secret blah 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 on there. I don't know if that's a DM map. Maybe it is. I don't know.
it.
Who knows? Who
It
fuck
don't-
cares?
It
Deal
doesn't.
with it.
Yep. It
Have a
doesn't
blank.
look. It
Kiss my
doesn't.
ass.
It doesn't look like a
Canadians
DM
aren't
map.
all polite. Fuck you too. Everybody.
All right, but there we are.
There's a
There.
river running through the middle of the city and bridges.
Yeah. There's a river run through the city. There's bridges running to islands.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's see
and-
if I'm being
here.
honest with you, that's the nicest I've ever been told to go fuck myself.
Go fuck yourself, eh?
In a polite way.
Please and thank you.
Hey, would you do me a favor? Go fuck yourself a little bit.
To be expected of a
You know,
Canadian.
don't you have to be forceful about it. You can, I guess, more or less make love to yourself.
You know,
Should we
whatever.
all love ourselves?
Up to you.
I love you, man.
Uh, you guys are killing me.
As you guys approach, like it's a walled city. Road leads in. You guys can also see that, like, as you guys enter the city, like, even there doesn't seem to be anyone like near the gates.
That doesn't look
I mean,
good.
I guess there is, but not many. Like, and like the walls have like big, tall towers in them, especially at the gates. When one of those islands also has an immense, multi-spired tower. It almost looks like a leafless tree growing from the island.
That big blood something or other. I can't make it out.
Let's see here.
Quoi?
Blood something or other. I can't make out the bottom word. Apparently, it's an island in there that they got bridges to.
Oh, it could just be Blood Island.
It could be Blood Island.
Let's see here. Yeah, but Blood Island. There's
Okay.
there. I'll have that up on Zoom shared here in a bit.
And also, like the river / harbor thing, you guys can see, which is by now becoming somewhat familiar. You can see like a more than 200-foot long frost giant longship
Oh no.
God.
with its immense mast and its immense white dragon winged sails,
Oh, don't tell me about
All-
the same one.
all smoldering,
Smoldering.
Wait,
and was, looks like it's been burning overnight at least, just smoldering, and the smoke is rising.
this can either be really good
And-
or really bad.
As you come into the city, you can see, oh shit, there are a lot of people, like almost parade style, down at the harbor. and the river. And once you start getting closer towards that, you do see that there is like an old woman carrying water. There's like an old man on a step. There's some little kids, right? The people who are already have lost interest in it. Only, and as they watch you, the old woman stops, puts her pails down, puts her hands on her hips, and watches you strangers walk by. She kind of shakes her head.
Oh, okay. Which harbor are we walking towards? The open shore or the Dragon's Beach?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I didn't mean to sidetrack you. I just...
From the seaside, if that helps.
Hey, excuse me, ma'am, but could you tell us what happened there with that frost giant ship? We seem to have encountered one of those up at Fireshear and ran it off.
She says, she kind of looks at you a little bit with disdain, kind of looks around a little bit, just see if anyone else wants to talk to you, and there's no one else nearby. She acquiesces to talking to you. You are like a bunch of odd-looking adventurers, and you got like a dwarf with a mad gleam in his eye walking alongside your wagon, and there's a satyr and two tieflings, and
I look her over.
And
and you guys are all stink of booze, and like you guys don't look like you guys look like rapscallions, bunch of rabble rousers.
Probably.
Yeah, but you got a good looking gnome there. That's the savior, giant killer.
Who when he's sitting still is practically impossible to see.
Yes.
Claude is just fidgeting with his metal.
Are you like where are you? Are you like gonna be flying ahead over top? Or are you on the wagon or?
I think I need a coat because it's so cold, so I'm probably on the wagon.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you're with them, and see there you go, a big giant bird guy who's
two tieflings, a gnome, and a satyr walk into a town.
Yeah.
And then a satyr body.
So she's like a little bit kind of not thoroughly excited to talk to you guys. She's old. She knows hell, she's like an old commoner, right? She knows who to avoid to stay alive. Stay away from monsters and adventurers. Right?
Wise.
And when you have monsters adventurers, well,
bad
that
combination.
Just doubles it up. Doubles up the danger. So she kind of like she's got her hands on her hips and she kind of turns her body and looks towards the harbor, and then she waves it away, kind of disregarding with her hand. And she says, yesterday that big ship pulls in. She says, the wizards from the arcane tower take care of it. Everyone's waiting for her to stop burning.
Cool. What
the
about
wizards, they came out with their... they're laying around dead. They're trying to figure out how to clean them up. Good thing it isn't summertime. The smell would be horrible.
Yeah, but if it's summer, they probably wouldn't be here.
You do have fishermen in this town, don't you?
Chub.
You're in Luskin. This is the city of ships.
Well, you go ahead and you cut them on up and you chum for big fish because you got big bait.
Bait may be a good idea. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe someone will try eating one first.
Cloud looks horrified and in remorse, thinking about all the burnt eyeballs.
Darl, if he sees any of the corpses, will want to go over and kind of investigate them, search them,
Yeah, let's go check them out. Let's hey.
to see
Look,
if there's anything that we could
Okay.
possibly find out from them?
I just want to kick one.
So,
You know, if we didn't save you
So-
guys, that would have been you.
so you guys like right on, and this old woman right on. Watch you guys go by. Shakes her head, bends down, picks up her pails of water, and she goes to her cottage as you guys make, go down the streets leading to like the harbor. Like I said, 240-foot long boat, right? And when you guys get down, you guys see, there are crowds here and there, and there are Luskin is a harbor city. It's in the north, and the settlers are originally all northern folk. Right? Like the original settlers are like northern barbarians.
Russians.
Clan and tribe, I almost think somewhere between Vikings and Scotsmen,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Clan and tribe, but I mean, it's not uncommon to know it, but even Silence would know for sure. He says, or even the NPCs. I keep on forgetting that you guys have the dwarf.
What's his name?
It's not clans. They're called ships. It's not that they're talking about a specific ship, but even when you look at the harbor, you can see all the ships are flying flags. The majority of them are orange, have orange flags. And then the other 35% is consisted of blue, white, green, yellow. There's even when you get down to the harbor, you could see people and when you think about it, yeah, that lady had a yellow checkered scarf that you could see out of her for her cold weather clothing, right? A big a big drapey scarf covering her head and a a kerchief around her neck and her head. And, she had a fur jacket on, but the only part of color was her long scarf. Well, you notice that everybody is wearing scarves or skirts or jackets or whatever reminiscent of these colors on the ships. People are kind of gawking at I mean by staring at you guys as what a shit their city was just attacked by a ship of frost giants, and now we got these. Yeah, now we got the freak show coming in. Freak show, what the hell's it called? Sideshow coming in. So it's and you can see that in this harbor is one of these ships, and you can see that it's come to ground in the harbor. Of course, it's still out in the water, and it's set before one of those islands, the island, and you can see it's a few 100 feet away from the island with the arcane tower, but it's just dead in the water and smoldering with flames flickering here and there. The ship has actually come aground. It does look like that there are a few human-sized ships that kind of got crushed under it.
Okay.
When it, not many, but that's how big the ship is, right? Like it's totally like when they
The
pulled
Titanic.
right in on top of a couple other on a couple other ships. And here there, like there are mobs of people everywhere. There's food vendors. It's like kind of turned into like a festival type thing.
There we go.
And the people who are trying to keep control, you can see that the majority of these guys are wearing blue, and it's more uniform like they have like a surcoat on a white and blue striped surcoat, and they have like blue flat like a like a blue plume on their helmet and stuff like that, but they're very blue. They seem to be like, and you do see other blue here and there, but not dressed like these guys. These guys are dressed like guards, and they are like kind of keeping order. And they have here and there, some have been covered, some have not. There are some in the water and some on land, right on the shore, but the majority of them are water. But the ones that are on shore have been mostly covered. You can see are like prone and prostrate forms of frost giants, deceased, dead, no longer existing. Kick the bucket, pushing up daisies. They're dead. And the guards are kind of like keeping the general public from, I won't say getting too close, because like people can get right up to it, basically from just fucking with it or getting stupid, right? They're just kind of maintaining order and stuff like that. And you could see that they're like uniform people, there are commoners, there's kind of everybody around. And wow, for the amount of ships in the harbor is crazy. Majority of them are red flags. Other 35% or like 45% are kind of like different flag colors. People are totally looking at you guys. The dwarf is just kind of like, if anyone stares too long, he just kind of gives them a look, and they look away and kind of realize they have something more important to do. Like, people don't stare at him too long. They get out of his way. He looks mean. And I was wrong. Both of his hand axes are quite nice. Not just one. And like you said, and you guys could see the looming tower of the Arcane Brotherhood standing on the island with its multi-tiered and a couple of the bridges going to various islands. And those look like, actually, the majority of those bridges actually look like that they have guards. And not all the guards are blue. There are even some red guards here and there. And, well, you guys rumble in with the wagon right down to, like, the seaside. There's, like I said, there's only a few giants on shore. Majority of the giants look like that they are in the water, if not aboard the ship, which is still smoldering.
Garl will get out of the cart and down
Can you
around
hop down before
down around
the handbrake is even pulled?
Down around the group of citizens, and he'll be just walking around trying not to get stepped on, but yet still looking for a plump money pouch. He'll be looking for a mark.
Roll me an intelligence investigation.
Alrighty. He's not too intelligent today, I don't think. That's an 8.
Okay. You you got who you would pick,
Okay.
right? Which is a dude wearing green,
All right.
and he actually seems to be you see him talking to a group of guys in blue, a bunch of guards looking that are kind of like keeping an eye on one of these dead giants, right? Just
Yeah.
and you see him. He's having a conversation with them, and he seems like he's like talking rather loud and stuff like that. He's not shouting; he's just a loud guy, and
Okay.
he's like, isn't just dressed up in furs. You could tell that he's wearing like a lot of different fabrics and stuff like that. He looks like he might be like a merchant or something to that effect, right? Like, or a person who's into. I just blew my joke. Art Van How? No,
Avant-garde?
Yes.
no. The alias that George would use on Seinfeld all the time. He was sometimes an architect, but he was also into like import exports. Art Vandelay, that's his name. Art Vandelay. There you go.
Okay.
He looks like he's like he just looks like he's like a merchant of some type, right? Not a store owner, but like more into like
Okay.
I don't know.
If I can see his a purse, then I'll try to lighten his load.
Okay. After he is done talking with a group of guards, you watch him walk away and kind of enter the crowd, and you kind of follow him. You can roll me a dexterity sleight of hand, please.
24.
And I have okay. You pick his bucket. You lighten him of his purse without his knowledge.
And I'll wander myself.
And
back.
he smelled very strong. When you got close to him, he smelled very strong of sausage.
Sausage. Ooh. Was it good smelling sausage?
Yes.
All right.
You guys have just I don't know who's driving the cart. Let's just say Farai, because I haven't figured out what to do with her yet. Like you guys haven't even pulled the handbrake when Garl takes off into the crowd, slips away. You guys do pull the Farai pulls the handbrake, and the wagon comes to a complete stop. And you guys start like climbing down. People all over the place. Like everybody's come down to gawk, right? At the either the smoldering ship or look at a dead giant or whatever. Right? This is where, if you're not a pressing business, this is what you're doing.
Entertainment in the past.
You're gawking. Yeah.
Rubbernecking. Garl will, after he finds this loose purse, will make his way back to the commotion down there and try to find his cohorts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know exactly where they are. You know,
Okay.
they're easy to spot with the wagon and stuff like that, and you know their general location of where they are. even the crowd is relatively easy to be moving through because the crowd itself isn't really moving. Like I said, everyone's gawking, right? There's just, there's like whatever, like,
Gar will be bouncing
let's
up
say
and
there's
down.
like 20,000 people that live here, right?
Yeah.
Well, everybody, if they're here and they're not on pressing business, they're gawking. Everybody.
Gar will be kind of bouncing on his balls of his feet, not really jumping, but just that tippy toe bounce, trying to get up to see. He'll be saying in comment, "What do you see? What do you see? Silence! What do you see? Cloud! What do you see? Nicodemus! You see anything good?"
I see aspirin in my future.
Aspirin.
Lots.
Well, I definitely see dead giants.
Wow. Now there's a story to be told. Dead giants with aspirin.
It's kind of sad that we actually didn't get a chance to kill some of these, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad they pack a heavy wallop with their axes, almost as heavy a wallop as last night did.
Well, we weakened them for them. That's our story. We can stick it to them. They come on down from the north. We weakened them.
Hey, Cloud,
If it's the
could you
same
fly
boat.
over and see if there's any markings left over from your octopus attack or something that you could identify this as the same ship that we drove
It's
off
really
from
cold.
last year?
I can't fly.
Oh. Oh well, I guess we'll never know.
It's our story. We can stick to it.
Yeah.
And I never laid a scratch on it with the octopus. It was too strong or sturdy.
Oh.
Do it. That does bring a good point that you guys aren't sure yet. When you guys were at Bryn Shander, and then you guys were at Fire Shear, and now you guys don't know for sure, I guess. Would you?
No.
If that's one ship or what?
Could be multiple ships. Could be the same ship. Well, we didn't see the ship. Yeah, we did. We saw the ship sail.
I mean, from what you could tell, looks like same general construction. But I mean, like a long ship is a long ship, right?
Yeah.
Does someone have something like carpentry or a sailor background or like
I have beer making. Maybe if I saw their kegs on their ship.
vehicles seagoing?
Is the bottom of the ship covered in some sort of algae, maybe, from all the plant growth?
Maybe something. I'm not diving in that water to find out.
As Garl is bouncing up and down, he'll be saying, "We weakened them. We fought them up north. We made them so the wizards could defeat them.
Probably.
We battled that ship up north."
Okay. Some guys, like you guys are kind of like near-ish to one of the giants, right? That's kind of where I picture you guys, because like that's I mean, like you guys are probably like 80, 90 feet away from the giant itself, but the guards, although you don't notice it at first, when you start shouting that type of stuff for the guards, one of the guys says something to some of the guards, four that break off, and you can tell, oh shit, they're coming right towards us. They were kind of, doing the good cop thing. They can like watch you, or they're paying more attention than you realized, right?
Yep.
Oh no, they're coming right for us.
Yeah, and four of these guards are coming towards you guys. Like, they're not like hostile or anything, but they're coming over. And one of them hails you when they get closer, and he just with his hand, and he says, Well, Matt, is there anything we can help you with?
Oh, we're just tracking down our quarry that got away from us. They stumbled off. We laid waste to many. We are the heroes of Branshir, or
Bryn Shander, yeah.
Brashander, here.
Is
And we've
is
been
that so?
tracking these giants and slaying them on the way. They keep running from us. Your mighty wizards have done our job and
We also
finished them.
chased them off of Fire Shear, and then
Oh, we think
Yeah.
there are giants.
Zental Keep, but not Zental Keep. Zental something like Keep. We also chased one of these.
I think it's
frost giants up
Xanthals or
Yeah,
something. It's like
Xanthals.
A's.
That was
It's
the
like
thing.
A's. And
We also
two
checked
N's and an
Frost
A's.
Giant with his army.
Huh.
Perhaps you've heard of it.
He's like, whoa. And
I'm the slayer of their queen, Rufy. Perhaps you've heard of me.
and the Weevil, he's of course got his like hood up, and he kind of puts before the guards even get there, he puts like the wagon in between himself and the guards. And
Nobody.
he's kind of scanning all of you face to face until you start ranting about that. And then just before his glance really falls on the Weevil, you start talking about that, and he looks at you. And the Weevil is able to not get recognized.
And Garl will post a move where he puts his arm up there showing that he was mighty and throw his dashing chin off to the side and say, I am the Giant Slayer.
We're all very proud about it.
But not Queen Rufy. That was me.
That's true. That's true. My compatriot here, he knocked down the queen. As sexy as a thigh that she may have in a calf, he put her down. A mighty blow.
And Mighty Girl here has slain many a giant in his tenure. If it weren't for him, we probably wouldn't have been able to chase them away from Fire Shear.
And if you want to,
screaming from the shores.
and if you really want to hear the tales, well, if you buy enough good drink, our personal bard, Silence here, will play you the tale and spin the yarn.
Well, I've got a bit of a headache from the last party we had, but I can string a few notes together.
Hair of the dog. Hair of the dog. Or hair of the goat.
I'll take your word on that.
He says, that's a whole lot of information.
Do you need more from such an honest troop of saviors?
Whole lot of giant slaying, which is apparently what you all been doing here. I would love to hear the tale of how you slew these marauders. We've been tracking
I've said
down
our tales enough times. I want to hear a new tale.
Well, and he says, I know it's true what you say about Bryn Shander. And he, like, kind of points at Cloud, because Cloud is wearing his badge. His, his Star Wars hero medallion. And he says, I know what you're saying is true. He says, that attack we heard about. And he's like, and we heard a bunch of adventurers as distinct as you all.
So you have heard of me.
I didn't hear your name, but I did know. He's like, that's been going through the whole. He's like, this is Luskan. We've got ships all the way from the Sea of Moving Ice, all over the Sea of Swords, everywhere. News travels, all news comes here. If it happens out at sea or on the coast, the news comes here. And he says, no, we don't think that this is the same longship. Other longships have been sighted. We don't know how many, but
Or maybe it's just one really fast ship.
Oh, that's bad news
Well,
if there's many. Very bad news.
maybe now. But
Well, if you have sighting of many, we, the giant slaying troop of the moving ice sea, will go ahead and protect you from these small, piddly things.
Duonius, I think I had enough of giants, and I'm pretty sure they can handle themselves.
and he says this. He says, this ship came in, pulled in last night around sundown. But, and he says, Tower of the Arcane Brotherhood took care of it before the ship had even come to a stop, although they were flying around pelting it with fireballs.
Nice tactic.
And it just didn't stop for a long time. And that's it. And you can tell for sure that, oh yeah, because like you said, the giants are covered, with old sails and stuff like that. Just, kind of like autopsy, not autopsy, crime scene, kind of on a giant scale.
Literally.
Garl will ask the one guard that seems to be taking point on the questioning
for this little
and
squad,
statements.
yeah.
He'll say, "You have any sausages? That ship that's still burning, we can make use of it, and we can have a good Winnie roast."
Huh. He says, if you want, but the water's pretty damn cold. But he says, everyone's just waiting for it to stop burning. And then I'm sure that they'll send someone aboard to check out the remnants, unless the other Arcane Brotherhood chases us away. But
so who do we got to get permission from or legal authority to assist you in finding out more about the ship and these less than lively dance partners?
follow me. And he will start the chain of command. Luskin is led by 5 of these, like you said, ships. Each ship has a leader. The ships are in charge of certain duties, right? From the most popular ship, they have more actual ships. If you're a person, it's like a clan. It's like a Scottish clan. Okay, that's why I said Scottish before, because each ship is essentially a clan. And right now, the one ship that's in charge of government and leadership, they have more than 50% of all the actual ships and people. The lowliest ship is literally the guy sweeping the streets and stuff like that.
The one,
right?
the ship, the fleet of ships that are the most. What color is their flags?
Red.
Red. Okay.
And hey, what happened here? My phone isn't talking. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Alrighty. Garl throw his chest out, and heft his mighty short bow with an arm, and he'll trug through the city with a swagger that would be similar to John Wayne playing Hondo, following this guard.
Okay, this is within. Oh, wait. Okay, in the messenger group, I just posted something about to answer the question, but I'm gonna go for a bio. Be back.
All right. Let's see. Let's see what Garl got us into, or got himself into, anyways.
Hopefully not too much trouble.
Well, Garl's good for trouble.
That's what I'm worried about.
Huh, says the blind man.
What?
I said, aha, says the blind man.
I know. It's,
I got done reading what
With a twinkle in his eye.
Roland left us there in the chat.
5 high. Oh, is it not in 5 high captains rule the city? Each one is a glorified pirate lord who controls a fleet of longships. The 5 fleets serve many purposes. They defend Luskan against seafaring barbarians and other enemies. They conduct legitimate sea trade up and down the Sword Coast, and they raid and plunder the island kingdoms to the west. Where are the island kingdoms to the west? Like the Moonshade?
Well, they are pirates.
Let's see here. To the west. Oh, that's not showing it. Probably, let's see here. Where's the bigger one?
I'm saying anything that has the name Brotherhood, probably not a good institution.
Garl's
Brotherhood
thinking.
of Steel, Brotherhood of Assassins.
Yeah, anything that's a Brotherhood, not a good organization.
Well, Garl is. Oh, why did I do there? Okay. Let's see.
I thought the assassins from Assassin's Creed were a Brotherhood.
Maybe. They're assassins.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Yay!
And let's see here. Yeah.
What did I post here?
I'll do this. Do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. That's no spoiler. Yeah, it's very much like a very rugged Sea Town. It's like Bristle. That's what I picture it like.
Let's see.
Did I say it correct, Kath? Bristle?
Bristle.
Bristle.
Bristol or bristle?
No, yeah.
And flash. It's quite a few.
No, I'm talking about town. You got
That's what you mean by bristle.
it. I was actually going to find out who it is, but he.
And Carl, as he's walking behind the guard there, will look back at his companions and make sure he's not walking alone, and he'll whisper back, "Any of you guys know anything about wizards? May be helpful."
No. He says, "Oh, would you believe me if I said the first High Captain is Captain Kirk?"
Okay,
I get
I'll
the joke.
I'll believe you where none other
Oh,
would.
sorry, it's not Kirk. It's Kurt.
Okay,
Captain Kurt.
close enough.
Beniago Kurt.
Still see the joke.
Yeah, I still like it because I believed it at first. Yeah, Kurt. Captain Kurt. First High Captain is Captain Kurt of
Let me guess. For prize?
yeah. Yeah, and like don't get me wrong, like don't let my description tame it down. It is still very much like they are very much barbarian people. Like you said, Viking and Scotsman, right? That's what they are. Like everyone
Good thing Ryan
All
isn't here to hear that.
like well, barbarian for the fact they're like Vikings. Almost everyone is armed, right? They're all from Northlander heritage, and Scottish as in clan.
Highland.
But the clans are referred to as ships. And I didn't make up the lore. I don't know why, but that's how it
Okay.
is. So
Okay,
why they're called ships, I don't know. There might be an original story to that somewhere, but I do not know.
I believe in one of the islands near Malaysia, they describe their family as I come from such and such a ship. So it might be that.
Oh, they might have borrowed it from there. Or you know, used it as inspiration because like yeah, They just say
Yeah,
they're
well,
referred to as ships, and each ship is
they describe
basically
their heritage. They
each
say,
ship
"I
is a
come from such
fleet.
and such a person's ship."
Each ship is a fleet, but each fleet in itself is a clan, right? So they just just belong to a ship, which means you belong to a clan, which means then your clan is a fleet, and it's the higher ranking guys are in charge of the more better stuff, and like
Well, anyway, good sir, we were
I'm,
wondering
I'm
about
just
booking passage.
pardon me.
We were wondering about booking passage south to somewhere.
He says he just motions. He says you're at the right place. He says like and like silence, like seeing all the colors and the flags. You've always when you remember being like younger and when you would be in Waterdeep and if you were near the harbor, sometimes you'd wonder about like, wow, where do all these colors come from? Well, now you recognize, you're like, oh shit, those are all, majority of them were Luskan ships. Like,
It's like, you, yeah.
like they have a lot of ships. Majority of them are just like the northerner style long ships. But there are like several sailing vessels, and the majority of those ones are red, and then there's a few galleys. Of course, those ones are red too. The guy says, we can I want to read this. He said it's a walled city, there's big towers. Oh, they don't pay taxes in Luskan.
They're pirates. I don't think they like it.
Yeah, like all their money is made by trade and commerce and pirating.
They're not pirates. All they are free traders there, Silence. They just are good at business dealings.
You do
They're
know
civilized people. They don't have taxmen.
well, and you know, this is kind of if anyone keeps up with like any of the politics, like it's common knowledge if you keep up with the politics. So Silence again would know because, well, she's a bard. She's from Waterdeep. She's kind of got her.
I hear everything.
Yeah, that like there's a lot of people who are actually kind of pushing to get Luskan into the Lord's Alliance, but their reputation of being a bunch of pirates is like keeping them out. You know, the Lord's Alliance is just an agreement with many of the city-states, right? From as far south as Baldur's Gate to as far up north as Malper and Shander, right? And as far east as like shit, I don't even know, but far beyond like I think Silvery Moon is part of it. As far east as Silvery Moon.
Ooh.
Like it's basically just, okay, we'll agree to work with you and not be your enemy, and this way we can defend ourselves from like, you know, everything from bandits to dragons, right? And the talk is there's a lot of people want to get, like I said, Luskan into the Lord's Alliance, but what's keeping them out is the fact that they're still pretty much just pirates, right? Like when it comes down to it, they just don't pirate on like basically like who their trade allies ships, but most of their you know, most of their income is trade and stuff, but even the ships would war with one another now and then. So you talk to this guy. He takes you to his commander, takes you to another guy who's actually like wearing green, and it goes on and up and so forth. You guys ultimately get permission where Captain Beniago himself will see you because of the heroes of Bryn Shander there. You guys are wardens of Bryn Shander. You guys have actual authority. And since he is the main authority, or at least he is now, he will make audience for you guys. You guys are, your cart and your horse are being taken care of, or your wagon and your horse are being taken care of. Like they're being properly stabled and taken care of. You
Nice.
guys are,
Is the weasel still around?
yes, he is. The Weevil. He is. He's around. Styric is around. So there's like you 5 for now. Is that right? Yeah. Including Farai and the 2 NPCs. So there's 7 of you. And you guys are led across the bridge. One of the bridges to one of the islands.
Okay.
On one of the islands, it's not the island of the tower, and there's a few other islands that are more heavily guarded. This one is quite highly guarded too, but it's guarded strictly by guys with red.
Okay, there's the Blood Island.
You guys are being led. I'm not sure which island it is.
No, I'm just looking to
Yeah.
see.
Blood Island is all guards and barracks. Closed Guard Island is the one you guys are being taken to.
Close Guard Island.
Okay.
Yeah, Closed Guard Island is the one that you guys be taken to. And it actually has a small keep on it that
It seems like we're getting taken to jail.
no, like I was gonna say it's clearly like a fortified keep on this island, but it's been like palace-sized. Do you know what I mean? Like you could see where there's like nice shrubberies and a small
You got one over there
vineyard
and
and
another one on the other side that makes a nice little stacked effect.
what?
The Monty Python Holy Grail. A shrubbery. Yes, and then one of a different height with that layered effect. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, like I guess the guard could explain. And he just, as you guys like go along the bridge, you guys are escorted by like some guards, and they know what it's about now. And you're like this has like been like kind of a whole kind of afternoon process to like you guys been asking your way up, and it's like, oh, the things at Bryn Shander, well, I'll get hold of him, and then eventually you guys hear, like the first High Captain himself wants to meet you with you guys. You guys will be taken to his private residence on Closed Guard Island.
Hey.
So that's this
Have good
keep
fun.
is his private residence, and you can see where it's like, oh yeah, it's like was built as a keep as part of defense of the island, but he lives here, and it's like when any rich guy moves in, right? It's like, so now he's like fancied it up, and it's got, because he lives there, right? So it's been made like he is like basically like Well, I said he's first high captain. He's the leader of the city, although, well, it's a default position. And you guys are led over the bridge. You guys could get a good view of the smoldering ship in the harbor, and quite a good view of the Tower of the Arcane Brotherhood, which now that you're this close looks less like a leafless tree and more like a skeletal hand sticking out of the ground. And no real activity or anything, and it's just made out of like a like the Tower of Arcane Wizardry I'm talking about is made out of like a black stone that looks like it's been vitrified. It's under vitrification, right? Like it's been almost looks like it's glass on the outside, as if it was like succumbed to extreme heat for an instant, so that the outside has like a glassy sheen all over it.
Nicodemus, you think you could climb that?
Nope.
How about you,
And it's big.
Silence?
It's big, and it's like on its island
Let's
by
not
itself.
push our luck.
Like it's on an island all to its own, and there appears to be no life on that island. But you guys are on Closeguard Island, and you guys get to like the keep/villa, and of course there's guards in red. A lot of the red motif that you could see as you guys are like led in through like gates and a fancy garden. There's like even like a nice big carriage house, and there's like stables, and there's like a little bit of like a exercise ring for horses, and there's peacocks, and there's a small orchard and a small vineyard, which at this time of year are like, actually, do you know what? There's still grapes out on the vine in his orchard.
Oh.
Or in his
Well,
vineyard.
someone's pleased.
The orchard looks to be picked clean, but you know, Nicodemus said like, yeah, probably making like an iced wine. Gonna let them freeze. You guys, there's different guards. You guys are like totally handed off to like new guards. Like these guys are red. They lead you to like the main keep doors where there's guards. One of them holds up like the folded parchment in a leather case. It's been handed to him, and he says, "They're guests of the first captain." And you know the guys just nod and they allow them in. Take you in, and it is only like a keep, so it isn't like hard to like find like the main, more or less a throne room / meeting room where he greets his political guests.
Carl,
You guys
turn to Cloud just before we get to that last door entryway and say, do you ever feel like you're a redheaded stepchild? Like you're some kind of human? They keep passing us about.
Cloud will just cock his head.
You guys come right around the corner of these double doors, and you guys enter a room where there is some tables, there's food, there's seating, there's wine, there's some servants, and seated on like not quite a dais, but a raised area. And like I said, everything's all stone. It's a keep, right? But there's a nice shiny hardwood, basically almost like a stage, where set up there is like a nice big tall back chair, reminiscent of a throne, but not a throne. And there's like a big desk, and there's a shelf that's broken up. Like part of it is like bookshelf, and a part of it is like pigeonholes for scrolls and stuff like that. And sitting in the chair with a quill in his hand talking to a clerk is a man who's like dressed in like riding pants and a very nice ruffly white shirt, like just pure Snow White shirt, and he's wearing a red sash, and he has like a red cloak thrown over the back of his chair, but he's got the bushiest fucking barbarian Viking beard you've ever seen. Like,
Is it red? Is he a ginger?
do you know what it is? But it's like orange red.
Okay.
Nice.
And he has like on a belt, like on his belt, he's sitting down, but you can see on his belt he has like in a very nice silver sheath, he has what appears to be like a knife, like the size of a short sword, just a massive knife. And they're talking, and another clerk comes up to the steps and says, "Sir, your guests are here." And his attention comes to the door as the guards lead you in. And he just waves and he says, "Aye, aye!" And he says, "Thank you, men. You may leave." And they do.
Aye, you got to talk to my pal Cloud. He's the one that likes eyes.
A bit too much, but yeah, that's his thing.
He stands up and he puts the pen down, stands up, and he says, "Come," and he steps off the platform, and you can hear his boots walking on the stone floor. And he walks by another clerk, and he says, "If that pig is finished roasted, bring that out. The guests are here." And she says, "I'll do that immediately, sir." And she leaves. He comes over and he shakes your hand, and he's like, "It's a pleasure to meet the heroes of Bryn Shander." And he says, "I've never met an Eric Krokra before." And he pats you. He says, "Ah." Is that an eye?
Probably.
Cloud
I'm
has an
afraid
eye
so.
in front of one eye and his finger in a ring around the other.
He says, gruesome. But you're my guest. Some questions, and I figured you may as well come to me. After all, not often we get heroes here from Bryn Shander, especially.
The tales that you have been told about you and your might make you the hero, and us just the common fighting throng.
Oh no! Word has traveled about the wardens of Bryn Shander. Come, have some wine. Tell me some tales. We heard that you yourself have slayed some giants in St. Bryn Shander. We had nothing to do with this. The arcane wizards. As soon as that ship pulled up, the wizards swarmed out like hornets and blasted that thing with fireballs, dead in its tracks. He says, I don't.
How many people were on that ship? How many frost giants manned it?
As far of a head count, we've counted 18 so far. But we haven't been able to get into the ship.
When they fled Fire Shield.
14.
Those wizards are grand allies of yours. then.
I wouldn't say. He says, I wouldn't say that. And he says, they're certainly not allies. He says, the Arcane Brotherhood is here simply because that tower is theirs, and it happens to be in Luskan. He says, I don't trust those wizards. In fact, and he kind of looks around, he goes, they could be listening to me right now. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they keep an eye on what's going on with the politics, but then he shrugs. They don't involve themselves. They never have. For centuries, that tower has stood here. And it's more of an enigma than an alliance.
I never trust any organization with the name Brotherhood.
Ah, you know what I mean. If it ain't a ship, don't let it tip. No, if it ain't a ship, let it tip.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
That sounds reasonable.
You know what else? What else ain't a ship? A mug of your
What?
finest ale. So let's tip one.
Ah, man of my own liking. And he pats you on the back.
We're all fond of a
And,
drink here.
And there's, well, he's like basically leader of Luskan. So yeah, there's kind of whatever you want.
Huh.
For food. There's even like caviar.
I'll pass. I've never had
There's
caviar.
cheeses. There's cheeses.
Oh, okay. I like cheese.
There's sausages.
Ooh, sausages.
There's a hot roasted pig coming out right now.
Ooh,
Hey.
pork.
We can fill our bellies.
And I'll take some ice water. Carl
Yeah,
will
there's that.
say.
There's brandy. Zambian fire brandy. There is fresh fruits and vegetables. And I mean fresh. And he says, and the thing is, and not just Northern Coast, not just potatoes and apples. There is like pomegranate like things. There is grapefruit. There is starfruit. There's kiwi. There's all these strange fruit. There's a fruit that is about the size of a plum, but it's the color of an apple inside, but it tastes like vanilla custard.
Thought that would make a mighty fine wine.
And he says, this is all the best. I get this in from from Greenfields. It's not the first time you guys have heard that name. Anywhere there's like you guys have encountered like fresh produce, fresh fruit. He says, but I get this in all the time from Greenfields.
Where is Greenfield?
East of Waterdeep. I think it's about 3 days east of Waterdeep. He says they grow everything. They've discovered a way to grow everything. He says, look, and he turns around, picks up. He goes, look, and he holds up a banana.
Hey.
He's like, this is from Greenfields.
Is it your green flag ships that bring them on into you?
No, that's a inland journey. That's tradition I have. But he says, but a lot of it does go to Waterdeep, right? A lot of it goes right to Waterdeep, and then it goes all over the coast, and like
I imagine I'm very
it's all
familiar with
because
it.
he says if it wasn't for Greenfields, he says there, you know, I'm sure most of us would never have eaten more than a potato in our life. Like he says, look, and he holds up a pineapple, like a pineapple spittle slice. He says, this thing.
That's kind
He's
of
like-
pricky.
He's like,
think I've
look,
seen that
and he
before.
pulls, and he pulls out his knife, big long knife, and he starts, and he will cut open the pineapple, and like clean it and give it for you guys to eat. And by now, wine has come out, pig has come out, and he says, I really enjoy this with the pork. He says, and
Don't
yeah,
put it on
there's like
pizza.
Garl will say, "I'll trade you. I'll trade you for that knife you got there. I got this beautiful bronze war trophy."
Hawaiian pizza was invented in Canada.
What kind of abominations are you all doing up there?
Hey, it's a fucking Quebecer. I keep saying
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay.
When
That
you're in
makes sense.
Canada, Quebecers are not.
Canadians.
No, they don't want to be. They don't fucking want to be. So
Don't they still want to have the currency though? Be not part of Canada but have the same currency?
well, yeah, they want to do the same thing as like the first time you move out on your own, right? You're still going home for meals and to do laundry, right? But you live on
Oh,
your own.
boy.
That's what they wanted sovereignty. So that's what it was gonna be. Is that they were gonna. And then British Columbia or Alberta just sent someone on the border in like Alberta natural gas helmet with a pipe wrench and just threatened to turn off the natural gas. Uh-oh.
I imagine that
And-
sorted things out.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, the reason it didn't happen is because of the First Nations people. Because they're like, we're not going to be Quebecers. We're like, yeah, like there's a big Native population in Quebec because look how much of northern Quebec there is.
How much
yeah.
northern Quebec is there?
Oh
That's-
my God! Like
a lot.
right beyond it, right way up into the Arctic.
Oh,
Right? Like people only live in like Quebec City and Montreal.
Yeah.
That's right on like the most extreme south, and like Quebec goes way the fuck up north. Like it's a massive province, and people only live like right down by the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence. And the rest of it's all like native, like First Nations people. And they're like, yeah, we're not gonna be Quebecers. Anyways, so that's, I don't know. Like he just like the food is amazing. It's like the best of the best. It really, really is. Like you guys are essentially eating at like a king's house, eating with a
Pretty
king.
much.
But like there's servants and guards and clerks all over, like in and out, people asking him for things. But he's like you said, dressed in like fancy riding boots, riding pants, fancy ruffled silk shirt with the big bushy beard. Like he's already got like food on it. He's just a barbarian at heart. In fact, he even like yells at a couple people to just basically piss off a couple times. He is roll me a wisdom insight. That's what wisdom is, correct? Yeah. Or
Yes.
insight is? Okay, yeah, wisdom insight.
in a minute. Do I have an advantage on
All
this?
right, that's
I got a total of 14.
insight wisdom.
That's
That's
Yeah.
19 for Garl.
I don't seem to have insight.
So you know how to do it. Add your wisdom, and because of your jack of all trades,
No, I'm just
add a
checking
plus.
if that Jack of all trades covers that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just checking that. So Jack of all trades is about +3, isn't it?
+2, I think, right now, because it's half
Sorry.
round up of your
Yeah,
proficiency
+2.
bonus.
What was it? Intelligence?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Oh, wisdom. That's +1, so that turns that into a +3,
Plus.
and that's a die 20, right?
Yes.
6.
Okay. But yeah. Garl.
Yeah.
You're kind of getting the idea that it's like almost political. Because like word has traveled about like the words of Bryn Shander. He's not even 100% sure about exactly who you guys are. But he kind of didn't want any of the other ships to get credit for anything that you might, like he's basically like, you're not that important, but it's important to him that the other ships don't help you. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Like he basically, because he is like
More prestige.
yeah, it's more prestige. Although you can tell you guys don't really mean a whole lot to him, other than you. I can't explain it. There's not a whole lot that he really figures you guys can do for him, but he would hate to be the one, like to have like, oh, so and so hosted them, so I better host them, right?
Yep.
But he's like a kind of just a barbarian, anyways. So he's just enjoying having a reason to like basically feast and have a good time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were to run into this guy and he was just like in armor and you just ran to him in a tavern, you'd never know that he was like, like the leader of Luskan. It hasn't gone to his head. He's very much like just
Down to earth.
everything is like for appearance. Everything from the clerks to the furniture to the vineyard and everything. It's all for appearance and a place and a way to spend your money. Right? A way to look. But to him, he's just a person. He's still a northerner. He's still just a Viking. You can tell by the beard, the fancy clothes and the scruffy beard. The Weevil is very good at fitting in. If you guys are worried about him, he's really good at just fitting in.
Oh, that's good.
Like he's not like, he's smart. He has sounds you can tell he's a half decent charisma, and he's very persuasive. So, and a little bit deceitful too, right? So he's very good at playing the part, and he's neutral evil. He's not chaotic evil. So he's very good at just fitting in and behaving himself and not causing a scene. Keeping a low profile. Yeah, and he says, like, if you have attacked a ship, well, you say a couple of times you've had encounters with a ship, and now this one, he says, yeah, it's pretty much confirmed that there's more than one ship. Even now, would be my guess, there's still at least more than one. He says this is the first ship that we've heard of being destroyed. But he says again, although I can never trust the Arcane Brotherhood, they're a total enigma. I have to say, this is one time I'm grateful they're here. I'm grateful they're back. And that has to do with Forgotten Realms lore, he says. He says, back during the Spell Plague, he says when the Great Chasm opened up in Neverwinter and all this shit happened all throughout the realms, 4th edition, he says the Arcane Tower disappeared with the whole island. Along, like, other things like Halrua, the country disappeared. Neverwinter got, like I said, it had its big chasm open up. Weird things happened. He says then with the Sundering, what was the Sundering, about 20 years ago? It came back, not even 20. Maybe it was. I gotta look, but it wasn't very long ago. He says, like, the tower reappeared. Same thing with, like, Neverwinter, the chasm closed up. Halrua reappeared. All this 5th edition. Right? Because every edition there's a cataclysm. So between 4th edition cataclysm, the tower disappeared.
Alrighty.
And then for 5th edition, it came back. And he says, like, and still an enigma. Like, the tower it was gone, and now it's back.
That's freaky.
And the Arcane Brotherhood, well, he says they don't.
Did they ever tell you where they were when they were gone?
No.
Just like a human.
Well, I'll drink on that. And he tops up everybody's glass.
Garl will whisper over to him that we can make an accord or an alliance between you and Brishander to protect you from their strangeness.
He laughs. He says, I don't see how Brishander can help us. He says, you've seen the harbor. Look how many ships we have. And how many we have all out at sea. He says, Luskan can protect itself.
And you see how quick the Arcane Brotherhood took care of that one ship.
Hey, as long as they're not aiming their fireballs at Luskan.
By the way, you have to have
precisely.
Neverwinter.
What's that?
Is one of your mighty fine fleet headed to Neverwinter anytime soon?
I'm sure.
We're off to see the wizard about important information to stop these giants attacks on the northeast. Since I myself have slain Queen Drufi, it is most important that I arrive there. I will definitely let it be known that the king, the pirate lord of Luskan, personally delivered our entourage to the wizard of Neverwinter aboard his finest ship, the Slayers of Queen Drufi. What say you? Does that sound like a deal? Does that sound like something you would like the world and the realms to know?
He says, he looks at you. He says, the 7 of you, do you have anything else to transport? Any livestock? Any vehicles?
Wagon.
Oh, just a wagon and a horse.
And a horse.
And that's about it.
He takes a sip of his wine, sets it down. And he says,
And when we save the realms, you will have a part in this tale.
he says, for 300 gold, I could have all of you transported down to as far as Waterdeep.
I want to go to fucking Neverwhere. I don't want to go to
No, you can
Yeah.
stop at Neverwinter. You can go to Neverwinter. Stop at Neverwinter, but he says he's a ship that goes like it stops at Neverwinter, right?
Oh.
There's ships all the
Never-
time trading
what?
down.
Oh,
Luskin, Port Last, Neverwinter, Waterdeep,
300
and then
gold.
back up.
Hardly a heroic part in the tale.
Gar will say, would you take a war trophy from one of these frost giants that I slayed for payment?
Let's
What
not
sort of
push it
trophy?
too far.
What you see this grand dagger made of bronze. See the fine work.
Roll me, and when I say you roll me,
Okay.
as a group, you guys are trying to convince him as a group. Let's just roll me. So here, charisma, persuasion with advantage, and whoever can roll best can roll.
Yeah.
Whether that's Cloud is the best at it, or Garl, or
That won't be
or
Garl.
Silence, or
Well, I have a +4
Silence?
in charisma.
well. And it sounds like you're going to be rolling it, so it'll be like a die 20 plus 7 twice. Take the best one.
R20 +7. Roll how many times?
Twice.
Twice. Okay.
Take the best.
1, 2. Okay, the best is 18.
In total, plus 7?
That's with the +7.
Okay.
Huh?
18, yeah.
I would have it.
290.
Oh, fuck.
What were you expecting?
This
Okay.
war,
Okay, 270.
this war trophy is worth more than that just for bragging rights of being the only one in Luskin that has a frost giant's dagger that was
He's like,
taken
hey,
off
hey,
their
hey.
body.
He's like, I mean, like, he says, there's ships all the time. I can get you on a ship with a good word. That's like, okay. Player's Handbook says
Yeah.
it's silver piece per person per mile.
Okay.
I figure it's 300 miles. There's
Okay.
a total of, there's 5 of you guys and a horse and a thing, so let's say 7.
Half a
So-
gold piece a mile. 50 gold pieces. Per
Yeah, I started at a gold piece a mile pretty much. Because I think it's about 300 miles, I thought. Isn't it? Luskin to Waterdeep? I thought it was.
Sure. Let's call it
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Exactly. So that's why I started, well, let's say gold piece for the group.
Yeah, we
And
got
then so yeah, he'll give it to you for 270. He will. But he says like really that's like DM's guide price or player's handbook. Like what I can't go any lower than that. He says I
Wow.
just can't. That's just what it costs.
I'm just saying that, you know, the songs about the heroic help that the Pirate King of Luskin offered us.
Well,
Let's
I
not
know.
push it. It's a good price.
That's
Wow.
literally like the cheapest I can go. He says you'll cost there's not as much money in pirating as there was anymore. We're doing more legitimate trade and space
You know, we
that
all
could
have
be
to
for
cut that.
cargo.
I've
He
had
says,
work
look
problems,
for the
of all
for the 7 of you, I could have like a couple pallets of saleable goods and actually make money, right? He says, I'm getting there. He says,
Well,
like,
maybe we need to talk to some of the other ship's captains around to see if we can get a better deal for this dagger and the gratitude of the guardians of Bryn Shander.
I'm just saying because
I
all I
doubt it.
have is
Holy
17.
fuck! What do you want me to do? Sit between you guys and fucking roll the boat or what? How do you want me to get there?
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
Roll the boat.
but
I have
with
gold.
What's that?
That's what I got.
I say let's not push it.
Garl, knowing that it was his insight that he has that feeling about the Lord wanting to be as prestigious as possible, he's going to push those aspects to try to. He'll push him to a point. Let's put it that way. Try to get a response where maybe getting him to
Okay.
come down a little bit, some more.
He
Make
says,
him hurt.
Look. Okay. Look. I can get you guys down there. I was hoping to do it like legitimately. They like it, and he motions like the clerks that are kind of swarming around his desk and have kind of taken over the task of doing his work that he was supposed to be doing, right? He's like, they like it if I can keep it on the up and up and, you know, keep it on the books. But if you guys want to pay less than that, yeah, I got to do it off the books.
Well, let's say to make your conscience feel better. Say we go as the ship's protectors until we port.
He says, that's exactly what I was going to say. I know of some that need protectors because, well, frankly, they can't afford, like, to hire someone from a ship. They need, like, freelance protection, which he says, kind of makes both of his head. He says, normally we don't like here in Luskin. Right? Pretty much you're going to order, like, protection. You're ordering ship's protection. If you can't afford it, you're not getting protection. Right?
Yeah.
It's all the, like I said, it's all Viking meets Scottish clan meets the mob. Because now the biggest ship is in control. And he says, he says, be my guest, or please be our guest in Luskin. He's not asking you to stay at his house. He's asking you guys to just, and he says, let me know. You can just let any guard tell them who you are. Tell them where you're going to be. Let them, like, that you want, you know, tell them to give me a message. But let me know where you're going to be. And I will need some time to arrange things. And he points, he's like, off the books, of course.
And Garl will turn around and hand him the bronze dagger and say, this is a deposit on our agreement.
Okay. He nods. He just sets it down on the table, and he, like, touches it with his, like, he's feeling it with his fingertip, like, where, like, it has, like etchings of, like kind of, but crude etchings of animals, right? It looks like cave painting etchings, right? Like that type of artistic design. And he's kind of, he says, this is northern. He says, but I don't personally recognize it, but he says this will look good on my fireplace mantle.
And Carlos will acknowledge that and say yes. He'll spit in his hand and hand his hand on out to finalize the agreement.
Okay. Yeah, he spits in his palm and
And you have this
shakes your
little dinky hand in this bigger hand.
Yeah, and you can tell, like, oh yeah, like this guy is like his hands are still rough like sandpaper, right? Like he's like, you know, he's just at that point where it's like, well, you gotta spend your money, right? So, like, I watched a show on Millionaires one time, and they're showing their vases that were worth like $100,000 each vase. It's like, oh yeah. And they're just lottery winners, right? So they're just normal people, but they just don't know where to spend their money, spend their Powerball money.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, I bought like these vases. They're like $100,000 because they're made out of like malachite stone. Oh yeah. Oh, this watch is $15,000. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's just got the rough sandpaper hands. And you guys can like eat and dine and stuff like that, and eventually he will have to get back to business. But so when you guys gonna leave and go get like a hotel or something, or a tavern, or
Sure. Although I might have 17 gold.
I don't know why.
Me neither.
Dude, I got so frustrated with my tabletop guys. They weren't writing anything down ever. And things are starting to like unwind.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for them to like realize that they have this item or they have that item or they have this much money. Does, no, nothing. They just didn't write anything down ever. So the whole campaign just unraveled, because I just became like so disheartened. And it's like, hey, I'm wrapping this up, and I wrapped it up. I was very disheartened. I was like, wow, like nothing. Like none of the tie-ins are going to come into play because you guys just haven't kept track of a thing. Not even mentally. Nothing. I don't know.
On our way out,
Mm-hmm.
when we finish up here, on his way out, that's when Garl will open up that purse that he picked up and look to see what was inside it.
Roll me a D20.
Okay. 17.
Oh, there is what you call it? 27 gold worth of like coins and even some small precious stones. Like there might be like a precious stone worth 10 GP and whatever, but 27 GP worth. Just different currencies, everything from silver all the way up to like there might be like 1 or 2 gold in there. Most of it is like silver, copper, some electrum.
Yep.
And a semi-precious stone.
Alrighty. That's good. I know a little bit more about what I got.
Oh, and the faces on the coins are like everything. Like it is such a random hodgepodge of coins.
Okay.
Like
pretty much
different.
What you would expect from either a trade community.
Precisely.
or a pirate community.
Precisely. Yeah, it's just everything. Like just everything. Like some of them you couldn't even read.
Okay.
One of them looks really old. Like it looks like it looks like came out of like a Lich's tomb or something like that. One of them looks
Ooh.
really old.
Oh, I like that one.
Like really old. Like that was something that an adventurer had somehow got into circulation and ended up in that pouch. Okay, you guys go. You guys ask about your wagon. You guys know where your wagon and where your horse is at what stable. Like it's not gonna be an issue, so you guys can just leave it there. That's after you guys cross the bridge, of course, and get to the main city. You guys can look for a place, and there is like lots actually. All types of construction, a lot of stone, a lot of wood, a lot of plaster. You know, construction is kind of like medieval Europe. A little
Okay.
bit like London in the fact that once it starts to get like it's very like water orientated. Like it's very much about the harbor, so it's very misty at nighttime. Like there's a fog, smell of sea. It's cramped, so there's multi-storied buildings. But a lot of streets are stone. A lot of people who appear to be guards are dressed in blue. A lot of people who appear to be like street sweepers and stuff like that are in white, surprisingly. But each ship basically takes on a different tier of like government and infrastructure and work, right? Like most of the merchants are this and most of whatever that, yada yada, and it's just the way it is. Anyways, you guys get to multi-tiered, like multi-tiered 2-story building that has like the typical wooden sign out front, something with like a frosty mug on it.
Okay.
Frothy mug. And you could see that it has like the wooden boardwalk and patio in front, almost like a Western saloon as well. And I don't know. It has shuttered windows, and it's the first floor, the first story is built out of stone, and the upper stories are built out of beams and wood and plaster.
Do we want to stay in a hostel such as this, or should we stay with our wagon to protect our goods? Because I got a feeling this is a rough neighborhood.
Claude will gladly sleep in the wagon.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. If Waterdeep has taught me one thing, keep your eye on your property.
Got my wine, got
Yeah, imagine that will go very quickly.
Yeah. Well, all depends on you guys what you want to do.
Well, it could save us money.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a multitude of places in Luskin if you wanted to choose a place. But you can do what you want.
But maybe we should get some local knowledge and insight. And what a better place, Nicodemus, than a place that services the fruits of your deity.
Yeah. We need somebody who will like put us up for lodging for blessing the ale at the house and maybe singing a couple tunes. Because I have 7 gold. And that is all. I mean, I do have diamonds, but I don't want to get rid of those because, that's my revivify.
You guys do know that, like, yeah, it's worked before. It's worked before.
Hey, what did we do before?
Basically got you to entertain the shit out of everyone.
We pimped
you guys-
you out.
Yeah, basically just pimped you out for
You play-
for all the free comp.
Yeah, you played the songs and told the tales.
Yeah.
We sat back like Motown.
Yeah, and they just sucked up the promo while you worked.
I play accompaniment. I bring out my lute.
Yeah.
Well, sir, got a headache from the last party. Might need some help on this.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
Cloud will summon woodland beings and get 2 satyrs in to start the satyr party.
Oh my god.
If we're gonna make a party, let's make it a good party.
Okay. Again, these are like
Let's
Viking
see what
Scotsmen.
that we'll need.
Like, I don't even know what to say because, like, even if, like, let's put it this way: a DM only asks for a roll when he needs one. Again, Viking Scotsman, if you guys are gonna walk into like a tavern / inn and say, "Hey, we got the tunes, we got the satyrs, let's party," and you guys have like reputation. Yeah, I don't know. I almost think that fade to black.
Well,
Like,
Up the next-
yeah,
well,
I almost think so. Yeah.
Garl will try to stay sober and try to increase the party's revenue.
Yeah. I don't know what to say other than just roll me like like what's your silence? Roll me like basically like a performance check with advantage. Just roll me one anyway. So I think +7, die 20 +7. Roll it twice and tell me the best. Did you hear me, Silence? Because we don't hear you. Die 20 +7 with advantage. I just want to see how good. And Michael, the satyrs, same thing I kind of described. Guys who want to party, so you guys party good. You have you don't ever realize you're homesick, but you sure
Yeah,
appreciate the common ground. Which, although you just super indulged last night and you'd had a couple drinks this afternoon and you're even kind of burning out, you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm actually. Yeah, you actually, you break through the wall. You go through the ceiling. You have enough drinks where you break the ceiling and you're like, right on, let's party. So it turns into like a bender now. It's a 2-day bender now. You have gone from like, oh, I don't want to, not sure, to like a 2-day bender.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
1985 Foshing.
Yeah.
Before me.
Like, and you have to remember, all of you, that's what this turns into, is like 2-day bender. That's like I was referring to it. Remember when on that 2-day bender? Eventually, and I mean eventually, because like it's already like you think you ate breakfast, right? Like you might have still been drinking and ate breakfast and then went to sleep.
Yeah.
I figure like the satyrs are good at it. Anyone who's good at Constitution be good at it. I mean, pretty much it. It'd be like you eat breakfast and you finish your drink, and sometime after that you fell asleep, right? Like literally an all-nighter. Just so when you guys do sleep, you guys sleep like an alcohol-induced slumber that is like for a long time. A bed too. You guys will all end up in bed somehow. You guys haven't slept in a bed in quite a long time. In a real inn, or a bed in an inn. After like I mean, Silence was probably sick for a while, but some of you just never even stirred. I'll say it. You guys get all your combinations, all your food, all your drinks for free. Your reputation has spread. The fact that you guys are wardens of Bryn Shander. You guys are. This is olden days, but you guys are actually some sort of celebrity. They know of that stuff. If when they get like the town crier shit like that, that stuff gets out. That word gets out that Bryn Shander was attacked by giants and it was stopped by heroes. But you guys have also heard like how like because Luskin, all the news comes here. So you guys have like throughout the night, you guys talk to people that there has been when you guys were attacked in Bryn Shander, probably wasn't even the first one. It was just, but the thing that you do notice is that one, they were specifically looking for Sirik. They knew where he was.
Before we get too wasted into it, Garl will ask the bartender or innkeeper, can you send the Red Captain notice of where we'll be passing out for the night?
Okay. He says, I'll make sure that the High Captain knows.
And then he feels like he's still staying on course with our somewhat agreement.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He says that he'll totally let the High Captain know. He'll pass word on. your your know abouts or your location. Okay, Nicodemus, when you sleep and you do eventually slumber,
You mean pass
you
out?
have such a vivid dream again. Like you start dreaming of the party again,
Yeah.
and it's you're like, oh, didn't I just party? Like, is that a 2-day bender, or is it now a 3-day bender? Or you're trying to figure it out kind of in your head, like what's going on, and you realize, oh, my drink's empty, and you go get a drink, and again, there's nothing to drink, and you go outside looking, and it's just a barren, trampled wasteland with people starving and people stepped on into the mud and crows pecking at like corpses and just starvation and trampled death.
Oh, that's not good.
And you're like, oh, at least there's food and grain in green fields. And I might be wrong when I say that name too, but you're kind of thinking that you're like, wait, is that the right name even? And you're like, or is it? Oh, what if that place is like this too? That'd be terrible.
You gotta make it to green.
Pardon me?
I gotta make it to Greenfields. Some water deep.
I think that's what it's called. Anyways, you don't have to. It's just you could, but you're thinking like, what if this happens everywhere? What if it happens everywhere? What if all this trampled starvation comes everywhere? Cloud.
Green. That's a horrible dream. Yeah, I will make it to Greenfields in Waterdeep instead of
Cloud.
to see the wizard.
Yep.
How do you spend the night partying?
That's a good question.
You summoned your satyrs. Or satyrs, or whatever they're called. I can never think. Anyways.
Cloud's not much of a drinker, so he'll spend the night herbalizing everyone else's drinks with his herbal kit.
Okay.
So he's going to be the bartender. Along with
the bartender shares with you his
brewing kit.
The bartender shares with you their spice that they use for mulled wine. He says, and he talks to you guys, he says like how spiced drinks are common up here in the north. They help keep you warm and they're medicinal, and he like shows you like how he makes mulled wine, which gets you experimenting with like actually having to like heat the wine and adding spices to it and stuff, which I'm sure starts giving you other ideas about just concept of adding things together is
let's see.
a little bit of an yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The bartender will more than be happy to help you in that, because it's something that he takes pride in, is their mulled wine. So he shows you how to do it perfectly. It'd be like showing you how to make like the perfect cappuccino, right? He's like very, very into it. And he's not afraid of letting you like explore, and he will explore with you, and as people start experimenting and you guys can start kind of handing them off to people and see who reacts and whether they react positive or negative. And maybe you guys will have a cocktail or something invented or something by morn. But
All right, right there to right here.
And
those are where we are and where Greenfields is located on the area map, the distance for y'all, just to help you out. It's way below water deep.
well, is it Greenfields? I might be the wrong name. I better check.
Well, I didn't
And
mean
like you
for
said,
it to break that up. It's just since we were
that's
using that, I found that so everybody could have a perspective.
Because there's like Greenhurst, but that's not the one. Golden Fields, not Greenfields. Golden Fields.
Golden Field. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me.
Sorry, Golden Fields. I knew I had. I'm like, something wasn't rolling off my tongue right when I was saying Greenfields. Yeah.
All
Golden Fields. Yeah.
Let me. Come on.
And I think it's just directly east of Waterdeep. And I think about 300 miles, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I might be wrong. It might not be 300 miles. Might be 3 days, but I think it's 300 miles. I think it's a good. I think it's a solid 10. I think it's a solid 10-day east of Waterdeep.
So the east of water.
All right. Let's see here. I'll find it and share it with folks there on there. Not to hold up the game with
that's all right.
That morsel of grandness.
Yeah, Golden Fields. Yeah.
Golden
It's
Fields.
I'm pretty sure it's directly east. I'm pretty sure it's directly east. In fact, you guys were like, I think in Nights. You guys started this whole adventure at Nightstone. That was just east of Waterdeep. I think that's 3 days of Waterdeep, and the Golden Fields like maybe like another. Like it's kind of it kind of loops you back to where you started almost. Close enough. Within like a week travel.
Let me see here. But,
both locations are east of Waterdeep.
Let's see here. Green Fields is what I got there. Snakewood. Shining Plain.
Yeah, so I don't know. We may as well just call her there for this week because, like, I actually have to do some, like, a little bit of. I should have, like, totally expected all of you guys to do a sea voyage, but I wasn't 100% sure. So if you guys are going to go that route, I have to, like.
Voyage it is.
Yeah, because you guys can make an arrangement. You guys can, yeah. And I got to figure out a reason why for everything.
Yep.
I got to ask the 5 W's.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Why are they doing it?